Right. You gotta constantly get it in. Iron sharpen iron. Constantly.
Go ahead, get it, finish that off.
Verse 10. As the lion lie in wait for the prey, so sin for them that work iniquity. The discourse of an ungodly man.
A godly man.
The discourse of a godly man is always with wisdom. But the fool changes as the moon. Verse 12.
Wow.
It's steadfast. You're going to never change. This is what you're on, same yesterday as today. But there's a building to even get that better. So when somebody talking about your character, when somebody talking about your character, it ain't changed. Go ahead.
Verse 12. That's it.
That's it?
I'm going to hit verse 12 and then I'm done.
Okay.
If thou be among the indiscreet, observe the time, but be continually among men of understanding.
Y'all see that?
Obey.
Look, be continually among men of understanding. If you be in the way of somebody that says observe the time, if you see a transvestite that had surgery and looking like this, you need to start observing the time. Boy, we full screen him to 24.
Right.
2 days of Noah.
Right. Say if you're around somewhat of your spiritual family, but you're hearing certain things come off people's mouths. You're supposed to understand what you're around is people operating in the spirit of the flesh.
That's right.
You feel me? Like you understand these things ain't supposed to be being said, but it's like you on the block with your homeboys now. And you hearing certain things take place, you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta observe time.
That's right.
You gotta observe the time, you know what I'm saying? Like what is this I'm hearing coming off his mouth?
Right.
You feel me? They ain't gonna be talking about that.
Right. They talking about a drive-by. This is your life. Am I ready for this? No, let me out the car, though. Let me out the car, though. What you got? Oh, okay, go ahead. Hold on, sister. Go get you right there. Go ahead, sister.
I just want to know what was he reading before?
Sarah, what was that?
27, verses 1 to 13.
1 to 13, okay.
Yes, sir.
Was
Go ahead, Zebediah.
I got a precept. 1 Timothy chapter 6,
Right.
3 through 5.
Go ahead.
If any man teach otherwise and consent not to the wholesome words, even the words of our Lord Jesus Christ, and to the doctrine which is according to godliness, he is proud, knowing nothing, but doting about questions and strifes of words, whereof cometh envy, strife, revelings, evil servicings, perverse disputings of men of corrupt minds and destitute of the truth, supposing that the gain is godliness. From such withdraw thyself.
Y'all heard this? See, some will think, or they will say a wicked act because some of the good things from it. This is godly, but they know in the inside this ain't godly. This is a reward of Satan.
Right.
If you know you're doing wrong and a blessing comes, you're going to try to say the Lord did this and you don't explain that I corrected this first. Then who is that gift from? Y'all know who the gift is from? Satan like to give gifts too. That was 1 Timothy 6 and what?
3 through 5.
Let's move on, y'all. We're getting right to the topic at hand. And which this is be ye sober. And sober, y'all, for yes, it is.
My question is, so can the Most High, don't he use people that they are not worshiping him to bless you, Lord?
To bless you, Lord, is not worshiping him.
Yeah.
No, he used them to torment you. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. See, so what the Most High do now, if you're talking about somebody like that understand the word, they may not be fully into you, but the word is presented to them. And they are being and observing, and they say, I will help you. But if the wicked help you do wicked, that's what we're talking about. If they help you to do a wicked thing, if they help conspire to hide a murder, See, the people that are helping us have already been warned of the Lord, and they are waiting for that help. Like Peter was told. Like Cornelius was told, go to Peter. He got some words for you.
What I'm asking is like, say if I'm short on bus fare,
right.
I lost my bus fare or something, and someone that, I don't know if they not serving him or not, but I'm just saying, if a person that is walking around with his pants hanging down or drunk or whatever, they pay my bus fare.
Right.
That's a blessing for me. So.
Well, the blessing would be is how they drunk and got money and you ain't. So you have to figure that out first, you know, because if you get on the bus, it takes money to get on the bus.
Right.
If you're standing there waiting for money, you know
I
what I'm
lost
saying?
for transfer or something.
If you've done that, then that's already expressed. If that's like that, then that brother in that perspective is saying, I got a strong hold with drinking, but my heart is still about doing a right thing. You understand what I'm saying? Give me the shirack on the back. I want to just read this shirack. So, because there's a fine line system with begging and falling on hard times.
No.
I understand what you're saying.
Blessing coming to
or from the wine head, but you have to look at blessings in their entirety. First, to know it's a blessing from the Lord. I lost my money. Now, if you had a problem with an alcoholic, and then this alcoholic saves you, then you look at this alcoholic in a different light. That's what the message is. To make sure you are not looking at him, because you may have thoughts on your mind, he ain't nothing but old bum. And everybody else walking past you. All I need is 35 cents to get on the Metro Link. My kids at school, I got to get them pick up. They passing you up. The bum ain't just up. I was going to give me another bottle, but you know what? That today I'm stopped. Here. And you look at it from that perspective, but you don't want to look at it because you don't want to entertain bad behavior because it offers blessings. You know, when those bad behavior blessings are offered, they have been understood who the God of Israel is. Like everywhere you look like Joseph in prison. When he came out, he interpreted a dream. Daniel interpreted a dream. So they say, now I can give a blessing to the Lord, to his people, because I understand his power now. But just a drunkard, when you leave, your only word's going to be, what happened, how you get home? You ain't going to never believe it. Old drunk man had a pea stain in front of his pants, gave me 30 cents. Everybody else passed me by. But you just labeled him right there as a drunk with a pea stain. So if I run out of money, guess who I'm looking for? That is good. One side of his leg went from here to here. See, you got to understand it's the same gimmick of somebody out there with a gas can and point to the car. I ran out of gas right there. Can you help me? You give them money and next week they keep running out of gas right there. That's the problem. Even if they get money, the gas they buy keeps running out right here. You like, who was up here yesterday? So, sis, we don't want to get into the point. I understand exactly what you're saying because say the wealth of the wicked, but it's always them after they have been shown the truth. Because the Most High is not going to take usury from anybody. Even when Abraham was a perfect example, when he went and got Lot and they grabbed all the wealth back. He could have said, I rescued y'all, my paper. But he said, I didn't take it out of pick of it. It wasn't mine before I came. I didn't come to get the paper. I came to get my nephew and the other righteous people heard. Now, those men that rode with me need to be paid for them giving up their life for this. So y'all split up what y'all got coming. Get the rest back to these people. I'm going over here. I'm cool with you all. So those type of examples let you understand the difference in begging or judging the character of an individual that has a strong hold over. You know, and you look at that as wicked. See, the key was, I'm hearing what you're saying is the word drunk and wicked. So are you looking at it like that behavior is unbecoming of dealing with the Lord? So I don't want to get it misconstrued that everybody that's drunk is wicked.
Or is
that's why we're talking about be ye sober, so you can measure the soberness of it. Is his heart still sober, but his body drunk at this point? Is he thinking? Y'all have heard the term 1,000 times at family reunion. A drunk body speaks a sober mind. If a drunk body gives you money, that's what you have to measure. Why? This man has a stronghold over it. I must pray for him. Versus if you looking at it wicked, you taking the money and then you smelling it first. You get on the bus, but you still have doubts. And then you start to wonder, a wicked man gave me money, a wicked man gave me money. No, this man had a stronghold on what his heart.
We all wicked.
His heart was trying to get back. So you pray for him, Lord, fix that part for him too. Because this part of his generosity is great. Fix that for him if you will, Lord. If it's your will,
What up?
fix that. You know what I'm saying, sis?
Yeah,
So I mean, it's just the key of who gives you what and what you call that person that's feeding you. If you get food stamps, you can't be railing against the government like that. If they feed you, you got to think of a different way to understand that black. You got to look at it differently. If you count on that, you cannot put yourself in a position to get that cut off. If you need it at that point, you got to be wise as a servant and say, I'm going to get to the point where I don't have to have my hand out to them. And then they will rule me like they're forced to do now. But I can't call them wicked because I need their hand out. See, that's what happens a lot of times. People get mad at the people that helping them because they're in the situation that they are. And they call these people wicked. It's complex, sister, what I'm trying to say to you, but I just want you to understand not to look at the outer cup until you hear what's coming out of it. Because that's why Christ says, what get into the kingdom before the preachers? The what? Why do you think Christ say the Pharisees, the publicans and the harlots get into the kingdom before the so-called Bible teachers? Because they know and they admit what my error is. But Lord, if my error, if I can do something for you, will you help fix my error? You have to look at it from that perspective always. 1 Corinthians 13 is the book of charity. Everybody please read 1 Corinthians 13 and you will understand it breaks down charity. You can give money to somebody. If your heart is to show off in front of this person, that's still a wicked act.
You have already received your reward.
Already received.
But if I may,
Is it 40 or 30? Right. Sirach 40, y'all. We're going to move on. We're going to get right. I got about a few more scripts, y'all. We're running on good time. It's about 2:44. We're about half an hour out. Because we need to talk about the Passover coming up.
just one thing, because it coincides, we see the drunkenness or that homeless person that might give you that money and stuff. But Hebrews chapter 13 eloquently stipulates, let brotherly love continue. Be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for thereby some have been entertained by angels unaware. Angels, i.e. messengers of Yahweh. Okay, said that what you perceived as a drunken guy, or we walk past that person that's not so comely to the quote master.
Question, how you know it's an angel unaware?
I'm just saying, lean not on your own understanding and just give charity. Don't say, oh, if I give him $1, he's going to go buy some Mad Dog. Or things of that nature.
I'm saying, but you're not entertaining a stranger at your door that's angel unaware. What will make him an angel? Because Satan masquerades as an angel. What's going to separate that?
The tree, the fruit off the tree, or that person that's burned. Whether it's wicked or fruitful.
It was righteous words coming off the train. That could have been an angel.
Correct.
It could be recording what I just did in heaven. But Satan gonna come a different way. So you got to understand that all we're saying is when you explain this angel situation, angels do come to your door and Satan will send an angel to your door. Boom, boom, boom. Who in there?
Correct. Therefore, keep the pineal gland very discerned.
Absolutely. Let's move on. What we at? You in that? What Hebrews what?
We got Sirach.
Hebrews what get?
Hebrews chapter 13 verses 1 and 2. All praise to the Godhead.
That's right. Sirach 40, y'all, so we'll understand best. Y'all, because all of us on bad time. I don't know too many people in here who ain't 2 checks from home. The one you're supposed to get next week and the PTO time or whatever accumulated on that. That's it after that. If it ain't no unemployment, you got to be inventive. You're going to have to start doing some things. You have to fix things for people. You are going to have to become, you can't become a nigger rigger. You have to become a Negro ingenuity. You have to be able to do. I can hold it together for you until you get the money to let me fix it.
Like, what's your boy, y'all heard the term, the real McCoy?
Yeah.
That was his brother. Elijah McCoy, look him up. Responsible for a gang of patents. He was an inventor.
That's right.
That was whenever you said, no, we want the real McCoy. That was a straight brother. You can Wikipedia him, Google him, Elijah McCoy, come right up. Right. Black than anybody in her, great, bird, her, everything.
Or you can become an entrepreneur.
Absolutely. You have to reinvent yourself because you cannot fall into what we just read. Don't read about Sirach 40.
Sirach 40. I'm going to start at 25.
Okay.
Gold and silver make the foot stand sure.
Y'all see that gold and silver? I got paper in my pocket. I ain't worried about nothing, y'all.
Comfortable.
Stacks on decks. I'm comfortable.
Confident.
Go ahead.
But counsel is esteemed above both of them.
Y'all see that? Counsel is above both of them because stacks on deck mean if I get some alcohol in me, if I get that product in me, I'm going over to Brooklyn. And guess where your stack gonna be? On the dance floor. Now you got to come back home and the rich man is still standing there. You said Thursday you was gonna have my money. And you come back and you've been to the shake joint with that money. So counsel is above stacks. You can't get comfortable in stacks. Stacks don't bring righteousness to your mind. Stacks without understanding righteousness bring more wickedness to your mind. I'll pay somebody to kill for me. I'll pay off this. I'll pay off that. I will pay off my wicked intentions. Go ahead.
Verse 26. Riches and strength lift up the heart, but the fear of the Lord is above both of them.
Y'all see that? Go ahead.
There is no want in the fear of the Lord, and it needeth not to seek help. The fear of the Lord is a fruitful garden, and covereth him above all glory.
See, you have to understand that you being a plant of the Lord, you can't put everything on this. Your fruitfulness, your understanding will lead you to the right people that will help you. And you won't have no concern about that. You know that this is the work of the Lord. That the reason they are doing that, they respect and fear our God, so they are offering help. Do y'all think the Underground Railroad, what y'all think that was? Y'all think that was a train? Like the New York City train? These were what was called abolitionists, or what you would consider Republicans back in the day. The Underground Railroads, at night, you sneak to this white man's basement, they hide you there until they see a flash of light, then they sneak you and hide you to this white man's basement with Harriet Tubman until you get where you're going. Her problem wasn't with the white folk that was helping her. Her problem was cowardly Negroes that wanted to turn around. I hear some dogs.
Oh, man.
I want to come back.
That's about what it was.
Noodle back, Negro.
So before she would lose those 20, she was ready with that 45. You ain't going back. Let's go. Read some more, bro.
Verse 28. My son,
Yeah.
lead not a beggar's life.
What kind of life?
A beggar's life.
Right?
For better is it to die than to beg.
Y'all hear this? What do y'all think that means? Anybody?
Get out there and work.
It's better to die than to beg. That's what it's meant. That don't mean you can't go to nobody for help. It's not saying that. Begging has no solution.
Being a pan.
Begging tomorrow means the same thing. I'm looking
Get out here and
for
find some work to do.
I have to create a hustle for it next. I have to have the gas cans in somebody else's car that's been sitting there and say it's mine and see what you give me. That's when you become a beggar. And then you choose and negotiate your body or your temple for whatever you're seeking after. That's becoming a beggar. But help, everybody gonna need some help somehow. But you got to put yourself in a position that if you hate what's helping you, you will have a problem the rest of your days. You got to figure out, how am I going to maintain if this help stops? What am I going to do? What is we going to do? Go ahead, bro.
Verse 29. The life of him that dependeth on another man's table.
Y'all see that? On another man's table? How you gonna tell somebody what they got? They working, they getting up. The slaves work the midnight shift. And you mad because they say I ain't got $20. You got it. You went to school and got a degree and worked at Monsanto. You got it. You just ain't no earthly good. So I made the sacrifices, and with those sacrifices I made was for you, because your hand shaped like a cup. Go ahead, bro.
The life of him that dependeth on another man's table is not to be counted for a life.
Not to be counted for what?
A life.
See, so you got to understand the difference of begging versus being poor or falling on hard times. Some of us had an injury at work or an injury somewhere else and didn't have no insurance. They ain't gonna let you come up there limping and leg bleeding. You can't work for us. You're a liability now. So you lost out. The next thing you know, house gone, car gone, but you got to get inventive in your mind. Somehow you got to figure out, how am I going to maintain with this bum leg? My running back days is over. You think they're going to pay you to cut corners? How you going to be running it? And off to Johnson. Johnson makes it. No, y'all. And like minded, you can't expect nobody. And y'all understand this is another bigger situation than understanding. If you got something wrong with you and you're trying to get Social Security or whatever you get, don't y'all know the rules of them games say you got to go to a doctor? Or you taking your medicine. See, when they blood test you and you get that money, they want to see that medicine in your system. You think they're going to keep giving you money and you ain't doing no treatment plan for your disability? We didn't tell you to get behind the wheel of that car full of Jack Daniels. But we want to know if you get treatment. Because you know what you're going to do? You're going to pass that to the next generation. How to get over on the system. Go ahead, bro. Where you at?
Rest of 29. For he polluteth himself.
What he do?
He polluteth himself.
Y'all, this don't mean I don't want y'all to misunderstand what I'm saying. I ask for help when it is needed. Because you got an alternate plan. If I can just get that loan and get right here, I can be off and running. I can be off and running. But if you scheming on how you gonna go into the office, it's summertime and you put on a wool cap and a fur coat, and you with the old lady and y'all trying to fool them like you half crazy. How you doing today, Mr. Johnson? Okay, sign right here, and with that there's a prescription for Zoloft. You won't become what you portray. Go ahead, brother.
For he polluted himself with other men's meat.
With other men's what?
Meat.
See, you pollute yourself because with everything that comes free, there's something that comes behind it, ain't it?
Yep.
Ain't everybody looking for an angle? They say it's too good to be what true is what? It probably is, ain't it? Yep. Go ahead, brother.
But a wise man, well nurtured,
Well, what?
well nurtured, will beware thereof.
See, he's going to be aware thereof. And that's meaning of what are people going to think about me? What are the names I'm going to be called? Am I going to get comfortable with being called here, that, such and such? Put it up. Who want to be around there and you see them cuffing? Yeah, what's up? Yeah. No, we just chilling watching the game. So baby. Go ahead.
Verse 30. Begging is sweet in the mouth of the shameless.
In the mouth of the what?
Shameless.
What does shameless mean? You agree with a sin and it doesn't bother you. That's shameful, ain't it? No shame. Yep. What you got?
Let's just say, of course, these things that won't hurt the kingdom, like drunkenness. But let's just say, like, you know, you're a financer of an abortion and stuff, you know, for the shame that might come 9 months later or something. Aren't you a co-conspirator and you're kind of like a murderer?
If you did what?
If you were going to maybe finance an abortion or something, so a public 9-month biscuit won't pop out the oven or something,
Well, the 9 months ain't the problem. The problem
and you
is
won't be put
why-
to shame or something?
Well, the problem is why are you concerned about the fruit out of the womb from the circumstances? So what you're saying, who are we hiding it from?
So,
You know, are we hiding it from your wife or her husband? Are we
Right.
hiding it because she's 12 and you 32? What are we at the doctor's office for, paying off for?
right.
Huh? If you think like that, it's gonna be like Corey Holmes say, you get in the car and you got 50 Cent pumping, kill that nigga, kill. I don't want to hear that noise. You're like, well, you don't want to kill in the car. Right. You went to the abortion clinic. Why you don't want to hear it?
Exactly.
Go back to the root of the problem.
Go back to the root of the problem. What is the dilly-dallying doing, and there ain't no public knowledge that y'all together? Because you're trying to now privatize and act. That's the same thing we tell people that believe Joseph is Christ's natural father, and there was some illegality in the sexual intercourse of Christ being born. You got the same issue. You got the beginning of what the problem is, and that's lust. Read some more. Where we at? Finish that up, y'all. You got a few scriptures going.
Begging is sweet in the mouth of the shameless, but in his belly there shall burn a fire.
Right.
That's it.
Okay, so right here, sis, to answer your question, if you were a beggar and that guy gave you the money and you had a beggar's spirit with no shame, and then you promote the word of the Lord, that's going to be a problem because now you got the drunkard rectifying your behavior when you thinking he's just a peace thing.
I kind of think it kind of,
Believe me, sis, we know what you're talking about. If we clear on the understanding, but there's so many more things that come with it because the thought will then be, I shouldn't be asking the government for anything. Am I a beggar for that? So when we talk about one subject, we have to go north, west, east, south, so that it don't get misconstrued what begging is. You know, because if you get $400 a month and you take $100 a month yard breaking job, you $300 in the hole now. Something has to be made up for that, you know, or you understand what I'm saying? You can't regress into an issue. But yes, you count it as a blessing for what it was. And the first thing is, why was I short? And I know this public transportation takes money. If I lost it, I understand it. But the first thing I'm going to do is before I do this, I got to start walking first. Maybe somebody will pull over in the car and pick you up. You don't know, but what I'm saying is you have to put it in a position where it don't look like your hand is like this. That may happen, but it has to be you understanding that it's a gift of God. And the only word that you said is why I'm talking about this is you said if they're drunk. So when you're looking at it as a drunk person, what were you looking at that person in your eyes when you made that statement? How were you looking at that person that gave you the cash? If you know the situation. Like how are you looking at it? Are you looking at him as the Lord changed his heart and he's still wicked though? Or is this a blessing from the Lord for me to get my mind right? Because if I keep losing my money, this is going to be my title. Because I'm going to be out. I'm going to be in the streets like I think he is. You know what I'm saying, sis? So they always self-check when somebody else does something for you that should be down. That's the self-check for you. Just letting you know I'm in a situation where I had to get this from home. If I don't correct this, maybe I'll be in that situation. Or the next time you come through, what can I do to help you now, brother? You help me out. What can I do to help you out? What's your main problem here? You need to get down to Larry Rice. I can take you down there. That's the best I can do. You can't stay with me. I don't know you like that. But I can take you to Reverend Rice. You know. Hold that shirt up. Let me make sure you ain't got no pistol on. Take you down first. Go ahead, brother. Let's read on. What you got now?
Hey, look, right here, we went over to Hebrews 13, where it says angels gonna work, right?
Right.
So, I mean, who knows biblical example they got of brother entertaining the angel, he ain't even know it's an angel.
Who did?
Who know any, we got biblical examples of brother entertaining an angel. Like, he was with him the whole time, but he did not know he was an angel.
Wow.
What
What it say?
Jacob wrestled an angel.